Now you've seen battle belt or war belt videos before, but today we're going to be diving into a real world belt that will actually satisfy the needs of the prepared civilian, which you probably haven't seen before. So let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is David, and today we're diving into the concept of a battle belt or war belt or a post-apocalyptic belt. We've seen a lot of folks from the special operations community, from the former military folks. I'm sure you've seen them on all these other big channels. Grand Thumb, John Lovell on Warrior Poet Society. I could literally go down the list of all the great gun channels who've talked about their battle belts and how they're set up. But I'm here to tell you today that for most of us, in a real disaster situation, in a SHTF type situation, or an end of the world as we know it situation, my proposal to you is that they're less optimal than they could be. Now, I'm going to show you mine, and I'm going to explain to you why my approach to it is probably better than theirs. Now, for those of you who are fairly new to the channel, this isn't actually really a gun channel. It's a prepared civilian channel. I'm about trying to help all of you out there to be better prepared for whatever life can throw at you, whether that be your everyday carry to a power outage, to a hurricane, tornado, earthquake, all the way to some kind of, grid down situation like nuclear war, for example. If you end up liking this video, please smash that like button. Now, this is going to be a little bit longer channel or a little bit longer video because I do need to explain just a little bit about how I got to this point. I've been doing preparedness for 25 years. I've been in firearms since I was a little kid at 8 or 9, started shooting with my dad. I've been an avid shooter ever since. I have not served in the military in any capacity. With all that being said, I have tried for years and years and years to come up with the optimal battle belt, war belt, and I think I actually have found it, because when it comes to what the SEALs do, right? I mean, it's fascinating to see what the SEALs do, or what the Green Berets do, or the other special operators do, or former, guys in Iraq or Afghanistan and GWAT, whatever they did. And for them, I'm sure that was the right setup. And I am not critiquing them as saying that they're wrong, because they're not. For what they did, it was right. I have been working on perfecting my belt for the last couple of weeks, and I'm to the point now where I'm comfortable with it, at least enough to put it on film and share it with all of you. Now, when we're talking about I don't want to call it a battle belt. What I built is not a battle belt. If I were to build a belt, if I had an offensive mission and I was going to go kick down doors like a Navy SEAL style operation and do some work, I wouldn't use my belt. I would do what they did, right? I would follow what the Navy SEALs do. I'd follow what the Green Berets do on their missions, and right, or all the other MARSOC or whoever. But the reality is we're not doing that. That's not us. We're trying to be prepared civilians, and we're not kicking down doors. If we are, we're doing it wrong, and we're probably going to get shot and killed. You can talk to or watch all of these folks who've posted videos like this within their specialties, and I wouldn't argue that what they said for them might be the best option. But the reality is that's not us. So what I'm going to propose to you is that my belt setup is the best for a prepared civilian in a disaster, grid down, SHTF, into the world as we know it type of event. I think my approach is right from a prepared civilian standpoint. Now, just in general, a war belt, a battle belt, a prepper belt, whatever I'm going to call this thing once it's done. I don't have a good marketing term for it. Maybe by the time I put the video up, I'll have something. But this concept of a battle belt is part of a system of things that you would have on your body if you were potentially, say, bugging out. Now, my belt, I think, is focused on being a general purpose belt. It has some things, primarily defensive capability, that I think is very important, and I think it aligns with some other pieces of kit. Obviously, you have your base of clothing, you've got good boots, weather appropriate jackets or not jackets, whatever, etc. You may have a pack that you're going to be carrying. Maybe it's a smaller, like a 3-day pack, or maybe it's like a giant, walking off into the sunset type of backpack. In addition to that basic stuff, you also have potentially some body armor. I'm a huge fan of body armor. If you are so inclined and you have the budget, buy some. Lighter is good, heavier is, the AR-500 steel ones are awesome, and they're cheap, but they're very, very heavy. It's 16 pounds for a set. But I like to run body armor in a slick plate carrier. So it's just the plate, just some holders for the plate over the shoulder, get attachments under the arms. And after that, I'm good to go. Now, I don't like to have everything directly attached to the plate, because I think that if you run the plate by itself in a slick plate carrier, and then you put over that some kind of chest rig type of setup, I think that's more efficient, because it gives you some options. One is you can take your chest rig off, and if you get to camp, for example, and you don't want to run that, you could take that off, but you still have your plate on. You can take your plate off and you still have your belt on. And you can take your belt off and you still have your plate on, potentially. Like, there's ways of doing it, and it's not all one integrated system. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to kind of skip past the chest rig. We're going to acknowledge what the chest rig has on it in my philosophy of use. And that really is, let me bring one out. This is my around the yard chest rig, right? It's a cheap one I bought. It's a Helicon Tex. Bought it off of Amazon. Not particularly expensive, like about $100, I think. Carries 4 AR mags, and it's got a dangler pouch on it. It's not all fully loaded up right now, but it's got the basics. It's got a magazine. It's got an extra cat on it. And, it's fine. It's very lightweight. It's very minimalistic. That's the whole idea of this particular one, because if I'm at my property after something goes down, and I think that there's a very low threat level at that point for the situation we're in, I put on something like this. It's very minimal, right? If I thought it was about to go down, I have other chest rigs that have 10, 14 magazines across that are much more suited for extended operations, which I would actually use instead of this one. But this is just a lightweight one to give you an example. The purpose in my mind of a chest rig is for fighting. If you don't think you're fighting, then you may not need the chest rig. But if I think I'm going to be fighting, I'm going to have my rifle. And so for me, a chest rig is very rifle focused. So whether it's a pistol caliber carbine, an AR shooting 5.56, AR-10 potentially shooting 308, whatever it might be in your neck of the woods, or whatever it is you're focused on, the chest rig is just that. It's got minimal medical on it. The medical is really just an extra cat. Then it's got maybe some orienteering stuff, some easy access stuff if I'm actually having to do some very minor type of patrolling. But again, this is something I would wear if I thought the risk was low. But it's enough risk that I'm actually having my rifle slung on me with something like this. Now, one thing you will not see on here, because it's on the belt, is an IFAK. I believe that if I want to take this off and put it off to the side, and I'm, say I'm doing some, I'm planting a garden, I'm working in the garden, right? It's not my turn. I'm not on guard duty or whatever. I could be doing some errands, moving, digging a trench, whatever it might be. I don't have my chest rig on me. My rifle's leaned up against the wall somewhere, but I still have my pistol belt. And I always want to have certain things on my pistol belt. So the pistol belt to me is the foundation, because that's what's going to always be with you. If you don't have your belt on you, your battle belt, prepper belt, whatever, that means that you are completely at, threat level 0, right? Or threat level 0. You've got no indication if anything's going to be wrong. You are lounging, you're cruising, you're happy, fat, and just resting. When you actually don the belt, that is literally in a SHTF type situation. I think that the battle belt, the war belt that I'm going to show you right now, is the foundation. It's the first thing. I won't go anywhere without it. I get up in the morning and I would put it on, and that's what I would wear all day. I might put on chest rigs, put on body armor, take the rifle with me from time to time, place to place. Maybe it's with me the whole time, depending what I think the threat level is. But no matter what the threat level is, if I'm in a grid down situation, my belt's on me. Now let me show you what you got. Now, I'm not going to dive into some of the specific gear necessarily, just for the fact that there's so many different companies out there making great stuff. You can spend a fortune. You can buy all American if you want. You can buy all Chinese knockoffs off Amazon. You can buy a mix between all of it. The reality is most of it's actually pretty good quality. I've got, don't have that. Obviously, that was a Gila context, but I do have a Mayflower chest rig out there, which I spent like $250 on, and it's awesome. It's great. Is it 5 times better than the $50 chest rig from Condor? It's not 5 times better. I know it's better, like undoubtedly, but there's a cost factor that you have to consider. Now, if you're only buying one and you want to reach up and pay for the expensive chest rig and the expensive belts and the expensive everything, because you're buying just for you, by all means. I'm buying for a group, right? Because I'm not surviving alone. I'm surviving with my family, and so I want my family members to have kit and gear as well. So I'm not buying one belt or one rig. I'm buying 7, 8 rigs. I'm buying 7, 8 belts, and I'm kitting them all up. So I'm sacrificing some in pricing so that I can get the quantities that I want to have for the group that I'm buying for, obviously. So some of the stuff I have is great quality stuff, great name brand, and some isn't. Buy what you want to buy, but I'm focusing more on the principle of what is on the belt. Now, I am right-handed, I shoot right-handed, so I draw from my right side. So my offhand's my left hand. So we're going to start on the left-hand side and then work our way around. I'm going to tell you some options. Here I've got a little D-ring for my gloves, just to hold my gloves, to keep my gloves handy, so that when I put the belt on, take the belt off, my gloves are always with it. At the end of the night, I take if this ever went down. I say this like I do it all the time, right? But obviously we haven't been in that kind of situation here in this country. But I feel like with everything happening, we continue to get more and more likely to need something like this. Hopefully we don't. I pray we don't. And I literally pray we don't, because I don't want my kids to ever have to live in that kind of a country. But I am worried that we're heading that way. So these are just some basic multicam mechanics gloves on a cheap little plastic thing, D-ring that goes into the MOLLE webbing. The belt itself is this one, this particular one. I bought a couple different ones. I used to buy the HSGI big padded ones, but I found that I've gotten away from the padded belts, and I like the actual interlocking one where you take the inner liner and you run that through your pant loops, your belt loops on your pants, and then you kind of Velcro it closed, and then you just take the actual battle belt, which has got the Velcro on the inside, and then you just stick the Velcro all the way around, because then it's completely connected to your pants. It doesn't shift. It doesn't move. I find that just like this one, for example, this has the rubberized padding on the inside. It will shift a little bit. Now, this was actually a better one than the HDSI ones, although, again, it's a cheaper belt off Amazon. This was like a Wolf off Amazon for like $50. It's pretty good, actually. I've been pretty happy with it. The reason I like it, it did come with the thin padded belt, but again, I can just pull this off and just use the hook and loop system on my running through my pant loop, the loops on my pants. Anyway, so I leave this on here otherwise, just because I'm trying it on and playing around with things and moving things around and getting to where it's comfortable. I like having this on. Also, it gives me the chance to put it on and do some practice draws and fires and site acquisition drills. And it's easy just this way. So this is kind of how it goes. But if I were ever in a true situation, I wouldn't use this. I would actually use the inner loop. So it's kind of a 2-belt system. Just a little buckle. Some folks love the D-ring Cobra thing where you can actually like tie into a helicopter. I'm not getting in and out of a helicopter. So I found a video from Grand Thumb. He did like 5-6 years ago, back when he was, I think, still in service or at some level in service, because he talked about he had like the big helicopter thing and the attachment so he could tie himself into a helicopter. I'm not going to be doing that, and so there's no point in having that level of a belt when you're not doing that, and that's just additional expense, additional weight that you don't need. Now, if you are getting in and out of helicopters a lot, definitely pick that one up. And he even said, this is extra. But again, these things are purpose built. And if you're a prepared citizen, I think this is a better setup than trying to mimic somebody who is in the military running special operations. Yes, take the knowledge from them that applies, that we can apply to ourselves. But at a fundamental level, when I'm out in my front yard, right, or I'm in my backyard planting, working on the garden, and we've got some folks doing sentry duty, and some of us are trying to get stuff done around the yard. Maybe we're working on the water filtration system, whatever it might be. Well, one is we're not going to be doing offensive operations, most likely. Second, if things go down and they go south, I can't radio back to headquarters and have them bring an A-10 out to help support us, right? I can't get an ammo drop when I run out of ammo, for example. So when we're a prepared civilian in a disaster situation, a lot of the things that they built their kit for isn't going to work. Like there's one former SEAL guy, and I was watching one of his videos, and I don't remember his name. I apologize. But he would run on his chest rig. He would run just three single 30-round magazines, and for his mission, I that was great, I guess. But when you're a SEAL and you're running a mission, or you're in special operations, you're running a mission, there are plan Bs, plan Cs, contingencies. There's backup, there's extraction teams to come help you. But when we are in our yard in an SHTF situation, we don't have backup. Nobody's coming to help us. And so we have to both have the functions on the belt necessary to get the stuff done that we're trying to do, as well as defend ourselves, our properties, and our families. All right, next up, I've got two just elastic pistol mags. These are 17-round Glock 17. Well, they're made for the 17s, but this is actually a Glock 19, which we'll talk. It's a Gen 5 19 MOS. We'll get there in a minute. But I'm running two 17-round magazines, so I'll have the standard 15 in the pistol. This pistol's loaded or unloaded, excuse me. No magazine in it, no round in the chamber for filming purposes. But I've got two 17-rounders as spare mags here. Then I have a dedicated flashlight, just a little Nightcore rechargeable flashlight. One cool thing about this Nightcore is it actually has red light. Just pull this out and you get a little red light, which is awesome. And then, obviously it can do full-on bright white light as well. It's not rechargeable. It's actually running a rechargeable CR123 though. Then I've got a Leatherman. This is a Leatherman Waves, Cabela branded Leatherman Wave, not Waves, Wave. It's a pretty good multi-tool. Any multi-tool I'd recommend. I do believe in having a dedicated flashlight. So my rifle has a rifle light on it. And I do believe in having an extra light on your chest rig, particularly one that you can reach out really, really far with. This one is good, small, light, easy, reaches pretty far, but I would want a stronger one on my chest rig than I would want on my belt, but I would believe in having both. Multi-tool, just a general purpose, nice to have. Water bottle, it's one thing that you don't see on most people's belts because I guess they're going to run an operation and not get thirsty, and then the operation is going to be over before dinner time or lunchtime. If you're out working in the yard, if you're having in a situation like that, you want to have water on your belt. You want to have it close handy. Yes, you can have water hydration in your backpack, but again, that limits you to carrying the backpack all the time in order to have hydration. This is a 32 ounce. It's a one Tigris thing. Comes with the actual bottle holder and the bottle and a whole system. It's actually pretty awesome, and I just got that one today. That's what I was waiting for to film this video, was to make sure I had that, because I think that's really, really important as a prepared civilian to have water accessible like this, because again, if you're wearing this around everywhere all day in these kind of situations, highly recommend it. This is a blowout kit. It's actually a Warrior Poet Society one. Love those guys. It's got a North American Rescue cat on it. Inside, it's got full set of chest seals. It's got the nasal pharyngeal with lube. It's got, what has this got? It's got compressed bandage. It's got a quick clot kit. What else? There's a couple of other things. Anyway, it's a good blowout kit with shears. Yeah, I'm not going to pull it out, but it's got all that stuff. Then I have a full-size knife. Sometimes you'll see on some of these belts right around their belly, they'll put a little stabby knife, pokey knife, that's a better word for it, right by the belt buckle, right? And that's great. if you're doing hand-to-hand combat and you need to pull something out, if I'm to the point of doing hand-to-hand combat, I've completely failed in what I've been trying to do as a prepared citizen. Now, if they are going to kick in doors, right? They're actually running an operation to rescue somebody or to take out some bad guy in some faraway land. They might be doing hand-to-hand because they're, kicking open a door, and there might be a guy on the other side of that door ready for them, and literally it goes straight to hand-to-hand for some reason. So I don't fault them for their decision. Now, it's not to say you shouldn't be ready for it. I believe you should be. I believe you should know how to fight, and I believe you should know how to fight well. But this is actually it's a Becker. This is a K-Bar B16. I absolutely love this. It's one of my favorite survival style knives. I've got it wrapped. It's got the tan micarta handles, and I just wrapped it in this like racquetball tape just for additional purchase. Love this thing. It's absolutely fantastic. And I just have it right back here so I can get to it when I need to. But again, it's more of an all-purpose tool than it is a stabby tool or a pokey tool. I'll call it that. Sorry, YouTube. YouTube will get mad at me for saying the S word. So, but it's a good pokey tool, and again, good multi-purpose one. Here I have another 17-round magazine. Now, why do I have two here and one here? I don't think I'll ever in my life, even on my worst day of self-defense, need 3 different magazines. If I need 3 different magazines of pistol, then where was my rifle? Why didn't I have my rifle with me? I believe, like a lot of folks say, the whole purpose of having a handgun is to get you to your long gun. Now, if you don't have a long gun, then all you have, a handgun is a compromise. A lot of folks say that. But the reason why I have 2 over on this side, 2 pistol mags on this side and 1 pistol mag on this side, is if for some reason my left hand becomes incapacitated, then I can actually do a one-handed reload using the holster. I can take the mag or take the pistol, drop the mag out, insert the pistol back into the holster, draw this one with just my right hand, put it into the magazine, and then pull it back out. And now I can actually do one reload of pistol. Is that worth the weight and the space on my belt? I don't know. I'm going to try it, play with the idea. I think it's interesting. I did forget, there is space right here on the belt. I've got a dump pouch coming. It's a very, very small, very compact dump pouch that takes just one panel on the webbing, and that's going to go right here. Otherwise, that's really about it there. Coming over here, I have it's an interesting holster. It is got retention. It's got the whole the locking thing here, and then obviously. Even with that down, it still locks until I push the button. So it's got extra retention. I don't know if that'd be technically level 2 or level 3. I don't really know the different levels that well. But the point is that you want some kind of positive retention so that that gun is really in there safely. This is all connected to a tech mount system on the underneath with the whole leg thing. I don't believe in drop holsters. I think having that weight on your leg slows you down from I've got actually 3 or 4 different drop holsters over in my extra stuff I don't use anymore. I firmly believe in having it up on the belt a little bit higher. If it's down on your leg when you're running, it slows you down. When you're actually trying to crawl around on stuff, it gets in the way. So just having this kind of mid-rise, I think, is a much better setting. Like I said, it's a Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS with a hollow sun. The hollow sun on this particular one is solar charged because I want that as a backup, because I don't want to have to do a battery replacement after the end of the world or in an SHTF type situation. Then I've got a tourniquet here. I don't like having anything where my belly is because, one, if I'm having to get down and crawl, I don't want that getting, anything there getting caught on things. Secondly, if I'm having to maneuver down and scooch and scrouch, I don't want things stabbing me in my stomach. So that's where my belt is. The only thing left I have to do on it is, again, that the dump pouch that goes right here, simply for the fact that I don't have it yet. It's supposed to come tomorrow, and I didn't want to wait and make the video later because I was really excited to make this video and share this with you. So again, I've got, if you go watch some of the other war belt, battle belt videos from other folks. They're great for what they are. And I guess I caution folks to think about, in an SHTF situation, right? In a grid down situation, how would you actually, what would you want on your belt? I would argue that, you know, one thing that you'll not see on my belt is a rifle magazine. And almost every other battle belt video I've ever seen, everybody has an AR magazine on their belt. And my argument is, well, if you need another AR magazine, why not have it on your chest rig, which should be on your chest if you're carrying your rifle? And if your chest rig only has 3 magazines, then you pick the wrong chest rig, and you should get a different chest rig where you can carry 6 or 8 or 10 magazines, which are much more realistic in this kind of a situation where I can't get reloaded from somebody else. I'm totally dependent on myself and my group. No AR magazine on here, and that's intentional. And I would much rather have water on my belt than another AR mag. I would rather have a full-size knife on my belt. That's actually a functional survival tool. Another nice thing about this I didn't really talk about, this actually opens up. It's a pouch, so I can actually put water tablets in here. I could even put a Sawyer Mini in here with some water tablets and some tubing, for example. I could put a life straw in here. So now I've got water, not just water, but I got water and refill. So if for some reason I get run off of my, you know, whatever property, I still have some at least water to get by for a little bit while I figure something out. I don't know if that's not really realistic either, but this holster is nothing special. I got off Amazon. I want to get it one of the Safari Lands, but they're like crazy expensive, like $250. And that's just bonkers still. I mean, that's half the price of a gun. Yes, it's worth it. Yes, they're great holsters. I totally get it. There's a company out of, it's like Midwest something, that makes an equivalent to a Safari Land. I'm going to get one of those. And this is just going to be kind of a practice one or a backup one. Because again, I'm making how many belts? You know, this is mine, but in essence, I've already got 3 more belts that I'm in process of building. So 1 plus 3 more. So I'll put this on another one and this holster fits my Ruger RXM. And so I'll probably use it for either that, or actually I kind of like the Ruger RXM better than the Glock, but I don't have the optic I want on that for the, you know, end of the world as we know it situation. I guess what I'm saying is think about what's actually going on your belt. If you're going to go with the belt concept, think about what goes on your belt. Think about what really makes sense for you in this scenario, because again, this is one piece of your system, right? Your system is your entire wardrobe, plus your chest rig, your rifle, this pistol, everything. So think about what really makes sense for you, and don't just do what the special forces guys do, because you're not one of them. Look at me. Do I look like one of them? I'm not one of them. And maybe you are, but even if you are that person, does their mission profile, their real mission profile of the special operator guys who've been there and done that, which I haven't, are they doing things in that mission? Yeah, they need to do it their thing. They need to do it their way. I'm not. I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to grow food for my family. I'm trying to ward off raiders. I'm trying to do all of these other things so that my family can be safe and protected, and I don't have some of the systems to fall back on that they do. Anyway, hopefully this has been helpful. If it has been, if you're still here with me in a longer video, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.